It was a 340 litre an hour fuel pump that we put in this truck. This is the big block division of Cartoon. It's the little block over here. Small bore. How did that fuel pump fit in there, Jace?
Oh. Yeah, fits.
Wait.
Right, we've got to give on that. That's what I might do.
Can you just, no, you're in the Chevy, Jace. Yep, we're good. So the AEM has got a centre mount basket, which fits a bit easier than some other ones that we often use. It was a really nice pump to fit in. There wasn't much swearing from him at all.
We did.
Yep.
Right, hang on. Yeah.
Oh, so the wiring actually goes under the cover.
Yeah.
So is that designed to go feed in all together in the tank and then feeds the wiring into the car?
Yeah, I guess so, because it all clips across the back here too.
Yeah, right. Cool.
It's a good diff lock.
No, it's ABS, isn't it?
No, it's ABS.
ABS. The late ones have diff lock.
It's got ABS, it's got LSD.
Yeah. It's going to need that LSD. Jace was in this morning and working on the starter motor. So we did have it set down, going downwards. These allow us to turn the starter around. So we've popped it up to hopefully gain room for the exhaust. And you put the exhaust on. You can see the exhaust pipes. So the idea is we bring the exhaust pipe down. This side will come out here, easy. And this side will come out here. Just got to do a funky thing around the starter motor. And of course we can adjust where the starter control wire and the power supply wires go. The mounts are all fitted up. Over here we've got to make sure we put washers and spring washers in the right spots. They're actually a really, really simple mount. The The ear piece coming off the engine is very similar to the ones I use on the four-wheel drives, but we've made a different bracket onto the chassis on these. Jason's now actually working on fuel lines. So out come the diesel lines with that cooler on, they're gone. And we've got a set of petrol ones. The screw thread for this is a whole heap of fun. And Jason managed to do that. We've actually got the proper tool for fitting them up.
Yeah, cool, hammer. That one's a bit useless.
So what do you call a hammer without a hammer head?
Stick.
Exactly, a stick. So this is not a hammer, it's just a stick.
Funny enough, I didn't use that hammer.
It's not a hammer, it's a stick.
What used to be?
We've also got a bit of a leaky weeping diff seal. Might have to put that on our list as well. Again, with the parts turning up not quite right. On the last one, we just got the V6 booster, popped it in. But this one must be a later booster because it's different, bolts are different, just to make it fun. So we've got to come up with a solution for that as well. We find if we convert all the diesel stuff over to the petrol stuff, which this model had an option, the brakes work better with the petrol. Everything just seems to work better. Fuel lines are more suitable, and that's why we're doing this stuff and swapping it over. The petrol and the diesel senders are very, very similar. But in the petrol one, of course, there's a pump inside. So we strip the guts out, make some changes, and put our petrol pump directly in. I have tried to use a standard V6 petrol pump, and they work okay on the 1UZs with their smaller capacity, but they definitely don't work okay when you put the LS motors in. They run out of fuel at the top end, just pathetic. So that's why we're putting a much bigger pump in them. I'm still amazed at how close this one is the problem I'm having. That is so close, isn't it? Wow. That'd be funny. We'll just plug in our LS1 to our Toyota. Oh. No, but it's got a different fitting on the...
Yeah, it's a press-on thing, isn't it?
It's a press-on.
But what I'm thinking, cut that off.
You just slice that off.
Cut this off. And cut it off down here.
Yep.
Cut that off. You put the hose in between the two. The rubber hose in between the two.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yep. Look at, you can bring it up sort of around there a bit more. Oh, it's a straight on, eh?
Oh, look at 90.
That's got a 90. 90 at back around there. They're lovely. Very good, man. Really nice. Funny. So I go away and I come back and there's a radiator in it, Jace.
This is a pair of steel lines as well.
What? There's power steel lines.
One might leak though. The high pressure line might leak.
So that's just the factory Commodore one.
Yep.
Running down, and you've just cut the Toyota one off.
Yeah, cut the...
A little bit off it.
Yep.
And how was that go?
You got it on camera.
I don't know if I did actually. That's easy, eh? That is so simple. It's nice when they're right side, and of course you've done something down the front. You put a cooler on. Oh, you even lined it up already.
Yes, I told you it's already hooked up.
Oh wow, you were fast. Yep. And that sits in nicely. And you've moved the reservoir over. It's going to be tight down here.
Yeah, that hose and the intake is going to be...
Can you imagine it with the bow nose on it?
Oh yeah, there's no... Yeah, you also had you hit a 200 body lift as well.
Oh, that's what I did in the last one though. We had a Commodore radiator in it. So I mounted the Commodore radiator in here. So it was lower. So it was like down here. And then we could have actually used the intake. So that could have just about sat straight over the top on the other one though did. There was this big gap at the top of the radiator. Whereas of course this one, using the factory Hilux radiator, it's a bit different. And the hoses are going to, like the last one I put the reservoir over here. So I put the coolant reservoir over there. And I had the factory matrix for the heater. Oh no, for the radiator going under the engine. And it came up nicely. So there was a factory matrix that went through. The swivelly thermostat housing has been ordered. So it's somewhere in the States at the moment. But that's going to give us straight... I think I've got a 30 degree. Yeah, I've got a 30 degree and a 45, I believe. So that should point us pretty much down. So possibly just a down and a right angle on the bottom is going to work for the bottom one. Depending on our fan again. Or my favourite Sora one.
Yeah, well, there's no point trying to make any of this until you get a fan, and then we can situate the top hose.
Yeah.
And then we've also got to get
This out. To the airbox.
So now I reckon it's going to have to come up.
Well, we've got, how much room up here? We've got this much room?
Yeah.
So we come up. It's still going to be tight on here. We'll see how we get. We might get along.
You still want to run the factory gearbox, don't you?
Yeah, want to run the factory gearbox. If we
I'm still putting that on the bonnet scoop.
I think the bonnet scoop's back here though. ITBs, and we save the problem of the throttle body at the front.
Well, taller manifold.
Yeah, a lot of the taller manifolds actually slope the throttle body down, which would put it straight back into the same. Just as bad. I actually think a piece of silicon's going to go through there, Jace. What size is that?
100.
100. Do we have 100mm silicon?
Does that fit that? Yeah.
We have a measure. Yeah. So it's just 100. Well, actually, you're in a crappy place. Your measurement was, because it actually feels like it's more than 100. It's like, oh, it's 100, 102. What? I do like your aircon bracket. I think that is a fantastically simple air conditioning bracket.
As long as it holds it on there, it's amazing.
Oh, I think it's going to do a lovely job. I think that's cool. I have got the proper Toyota plug for that too.
Oh, you have?
Yep. So we can put the proper Toyota plug onto your loom.
On this way?
Yeah, the one that goes like to the other side of the car. Yeah, that'll need a little bit of a tweak. And then there's one more aircon line.
Goes from here.
Is that on the back? We'll grab that and have a look, eh?
Yeah, aircon juice.
Aircon juice. You stink now.
No, it didn't get on me.
This smelly stuff, eh? So bolts on at the front here. How's it look down there?
Yeah. Oh, at least this one, you know.
Now they're different sizes.
Yeah,
They're different sizes, so you can't get it wrong. That's definitely the top one, and that's definitely the bottom one.
not quite fitty.
Because we don't have the body lift. If we had that 2-inch body lift, like a 4-wheel drive one, that would actually fit, wouldn't it? Look how close that is.
It wants to go down here.
Yeah, that's not going to work. It is really close. I think the aircon line might just be a little close to the headers there in that situation. Yeah, just a little. Not far off. Nicely done. Yep.
Big with the airbox as well.
Yeah, you've got to watch that airbox.
You got heat leaving it big?
Yeah, I do. I think.
Just put the heat leaving over there.
We'll see what it looks like when it's got the airbox in there. That it doesn't, because it kind of sticks up in the middle of nowhere. Because before it was going to here, eh?
Yeah, well, it was up here. It was about here.
Right. Yep. Cool.
No wonder. Well, okay, that can be something that me and you can look at later on.
So, you know,
Make the inside of it.
because normally we bring it out here and we bring it to loop it round, but we do have a little put here when I can access in here. Because what do we need to come through here? We need some big power supplies, which we only need like fuel pump, injector power, ECU,
Cool.
coils. So not a whole lot.
No.
What was the amperage on that fuel pump? We had to check the amperage on the fuel pump. I've still got the book there. And because the fans are out here.
Yeah.
So instead of popping out here and coming around, we could grom it here and just run it, tuck it up underneath here, sort of bring it out along with the factory wiring, tuck in this side. But then they plug in out here anyway, so we might end up tucking it around and plugging in. Or I could pull those wires out of there, pull the connections out of there. So then we just have alternator and start here. So you bring alternator, start and plug them in. And I put these ones at the back.
Yep.
And I could probably repin these plugs, so one of them stays, and I just pull the other one through to the back here. And then we need fan triggers.
Yeah.
So 2 there.
3.
And if I do a third circuit, whether we...
Oh, I just put that third circuit on so it's there.
Well, I'm going to run a third circuit out, but whether we run the dual speed fan and an extra fan, or what we run.
I think that'd be simpler if you come out that side and around, and then we just make the body loom.
Yeah.
Just unplug
I agree.
the ECU with a body plug inside.
I agree.
Well, you can sort that out later.
There's a bit of revamping in that area, because what we'd normally have is this loom would normally come in, and factory plugs are in there. But there's not many in that factory plugs now.
No,
The only weird one is the one that travels from this side, goes straight through the loom and to the other side. Just a normal plug. It's one wire that comes from that plug to the plugs inside. We've still got start, so from this plug to those plugs inside, there's not actually that many.
Yeah, well, the only thing's going to the factory ECU now is the water team, isn't it? On Earth.
Yeah, and they plug it inside anyway. So the ones that come out here are the alternators,
Yeah.
which are going to the alternator right there.
Oh, isn't there one?
One from inside, one from out here.
Yeah.
Sense and out here. And then we've got that blue, whatever it is, wire, blue-white, that just goes from this plug and it travels through the wiring loom and it plugs in inside the cabin. So it might not be so bad. No matter what we do, we have to make changes.
I think for ease, well, for this particular motor, I think just run it out.
Yeah,
You
and
haven't got forward drive control. We haven't got all that other crap.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure we can enlarge that hole easy, make it look neat and tidy, and it keeps this area clear anyway.
I'll just put a purge canister in there. That's it.
You have purge here. Have you got a purge line coming through the vehicle?
Purge line.
You know, we normally, you put a purge canister in, there's normally one going to the fuel tank. Did you extend the fuel tank?
Up through here if you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it will.
Could we? No, it's got a big plug on it. It's got a big ugly. It's got that big Mitsubishi plug. It's got quite a big plug on it.
I mean, the starter motor power.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh,
There's places to run it. There's a mount on the back of the alternator even, I think. The front cam sensor wiring is lovely. It tucks away. It's not going to foul.
no, I can't hook on anything because there's a whole lot of packaging in the way.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, let's go.